Dr. Ardugmajan with Prime Coral, and this video is all about babies. And we think of babies, we think of cute little packages with puffy little cheeks and googly eyes, but these aren't those kind of babies. These are babies of Philaster. Philaster is a protozoan parasite, single-cell organism that I proved last year in 2018 as the cause of coral RTN, coral tissue loss. It is likely the cause of coral tissue loss around the world in the natural reefs and the oceans. This parasite was brought into the hobby from wild colonies. And I want you to look really carefully. There's an adult down here at the bottom. And this adult is at the bottom of a petri dish. But notice the background is moving. The background is moving because those are baby philasters. So how did baby philasters get here? Great question. Philaster are able to do something that only viruses can do normally, and that is create hundreds of miniature clones of the parent within a single cell. And viruses do it by taking over a cell's machinery, the ribosomes, protein synthesis, going into the genetic code and basically altering the genetic code so that the cell, instead of producing the proteins that it normally would, it produces molecules and macromolecules that are basically baby viruses, so that more viruses come from that single infected cell that a single adult virus infected. Well, Philaster are capable of a process called internal budding, where a single adult can make hundreds of babies within itself. And if the conditions are ripe, the adult will release hundreds of babies. And I'll multiply that times thousands and thousands of adults, and you get millions of babies. You get my idea. So take a look as I take you through the water column of this petri dish. And what we're looking at, folks, is just a petri dish of liquid on a microscope. There's your petri dish right up here, so you can all see it. And we're looking at 40x magnification. And as I leave the bottom of the petri dish and I start to go towards the surface, you're gonna see just how many babies there really are. So we're just about a few millimeters off the bottom. And you can see the entire water column is teeming with baby philasters. And every one of these babies can become a full-size adult. Basically what I'm saying here, folks, is the coral killer, the killer of coral that lives inside the gut of the coral, exists in awe-inspiring numbers, in the thousands per cubic centimeter of coral tissue. Now, this is a game changer. Their babies exist at basically 100 to 200 fold greater numbers, and they can release them basically when they feel threatened. And each of these babies helps them kill the host, but also goes out to find another coral to infect. I'm going to take you right up to the surface. So here we are about 2 millimeters off the bottom, and look at them swarming inside the middle of the water column of this petri dish. The water column is only about a half an inch high, and we're moving through it ever so slowly with the microscope, and here's the surface. Once again, no other organism alive creates this many babies with one adult individual except for viruses. And until now, no one knew really that Philaster, a single-cell protozoan, could create this many progeny. Everyone thinks of them dividing into two. So 1 becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8. You get the idea. That's called logarithmic growth. But this is beyond logarithmic growth. This is incredible. And this is why they're so deadly.